Greetings, everybody. Hope all is well. I'm Candace G. Smith, your master healer, teacher, and spiritualist, and I'm here to explain the Cardinal release reset. All right, so this is an example. I'm showing you an example of someone that I just did. So I want to explain what the Cardinal release is, how it works. Let me turn this off. Notifications here. 1 second, please. All right, so I want to explain how this works. So the Cardinal release, if you guys remember back around the beginning of August of 2019, on my birthday, I had went through a Cardinal release. My spiritual guides had guided me through this process that was absolutely life-changing. What a Cardinal release is when you actually relieve and release the physical karmas that you have on this planet. So we have the reset, we have the generational detachments. What that is, that's all spiritual and energy. But we also have physical karmas. We have these elements who are spirits. We have the water spirit, we have the earth spirit, we have the air spirit, we have the south spirit, and we have Christ source energy. We have all these spirits that are, it's all physical. So we also have these physical karmas that dictate a lot of things that happen in our lives. So a lot of people who get the Cardinal, you are releasing these physical energies that are, it's almost rectifying with these spirits on a physical plane to allow yourself to be completely free and clear. So this is an example of someone that I just did again. So what I do is I align their planets up with their physical karmas. Okay. So we have the water, the west. West is water, the elements of west and water. So what that dictates is your romantic life, like your friendships, your commitments, your heart chakra, your solar plexus energy, your close relationships, your commitments. If you are a person where you have issues with staying in a relationship, if you have issues with, it's like being close with people, if you have issues with, it's almost like you, so people don't get you, you don't get them. If you're having issues with family members, if you're having all these issues where it's like something where you just stand out amongst everybody else in your family, or in your friendships, or you cannot hold personal relationships, if you cannot stay in a romantic, if you cannot find a romantic partner, or if you are with a romantic partner and it never lasts, it's likely you may have karma of the west, of the water. The water is a spirit. And so you may have karma there where if you cannot release that energy, or don't release it, or heal that energy, or reconcile with that spirit, then you'll continue to have that karma there, whether you have a GA, whether you have a reset, whether you have anything. It's on a physical level, a physical plane. Earth, then we have earth. So earth is the sacral energy and the base energy. That's north. If you have issues like with doubt and solitude, loss, if you keep like losing shit, type issues like with gambling, that you're afraid of taking risk, you're bored all the time, you continuously have financial loss, misfortune, restrictions, if you have blocks in your intuition and movement and freedom, new beginnings, if you are constantly trying to overcome fear, if you constantly feel like you always have pressure on your back, you likely have a karma up north, which is east, and that's yep, it's east, and that's earth. So with that being said, like, you will have that physical energy, that physical karma. So that will not change no matter what you do, no matter what you try, no matter what you try, you'll continuously have that energy. It's that energy of just like almost not have, but that's your finances, your it's your stability, it's your money coming in and you keeping your money actually sticking to you. So you may make a lot of money, but it always goes away. Or you might have different issues where it's like you cannot make money, or you're always at a standstill when it comes down to your finances and your stability. And it's not a spiritual thing, it's not an energy thing, it's a physical plane thing. Earth is a spirit. Earth, she's a spirit. If you don't reconcile with her, then you will not have what you need. consistently. Then we have East. East is of the crown, the third eye, the solar plexus. She represents like it's like well, it's more of a masculine energy. It's like a male and masculine energy. So East is air. Air is it's almost like it's like transgendered. It can be male or female. So and it represents like the jealousy. You have all these internal issues, internal disputes, talking negative to yourself all the time, to your consciousness, negative consciousness, quarrels, arguments, all kinds of domestic disputes, lack of harmony within yourself, a lot of misunderstanding because it's all in your mind, it's all in your head, a lot of stagnation, confusion, misdirection, a lot of mental illness. It can lead to mental illness and physical health. A lot of people who have karmas in the east in the air, you have a lot of, you might be handicapped, have issues with the spine, scoliosis. Um, it's issues with your legs, your spine's like it's not even to walk really straight. A lot of health issues in the heart, the lungs. It's like a lot of physical health and mental issues. You may be kind of mentally off. Like you may be mentally like disordered. You may have um could been diagnosed with bipolar disorder, depression, anxiety disorder, something mental. That's a lot of mental energy. So a lot of you guys who have that karma, when it comes down to east and to air, you have to reconcile. And so with east and air, it's not a him or her. It's more of it's a versatile energy. But at the same time, though, it's like you have these conflicts constantly within yourself. It's like a battle within yourself. Like no matter what you try to do, you always have these battles within yourself. And it's a physical conflict that needs to be resolved. If you have an issue in the South is fire, okay? You probably have like a deep insecurity. A lot of insecurities about yourself are your relationships, people that surround you, like a lot of paranoia. You probably have been deceived a lot, probably go through like a lot of deception, or you might be a very deceptive person, very much lack of faith. You have this fear of danger. You're always like in a sphere of threats, it's like a very deep paranoia. You lack passion. You lack passion when you're bored. You're bored as hell. You're bored as hell. You stay stagnant. You stay bored. It's like you cannot find things to really grasp your interest and you stay stagnant. It's like you continuously repeat cycles over and over and over and over again. You have this huge ball of anger inside of you that is suppressed. You're a walking tick bomb. You have all this anger within your gut. And it's like literally like it's like you are a ball of fire and you have this big fear of rejection. So you don't take risk because you're afraid of rejection. You won't approach a person because you're afraid of them saying no. You have this big fear of rejection. You probably have a lot of addictive behaviors. You may be addicted to certain things. It can be sex, it can be drugs, it can be alcohol, it can be food, it can be obsession with anything. You can and you do go into suicidal thoughts. You have suicidal thoughts. It's on and off. It's not constant. It may, no, for some of you guys, it may be constant, but for others, you come and you go. It's like suicidal thoughts that you have. It's very, it's almost like you like, well, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't know if I want to be here. I don't know if so why am I here? It's like, it's these dark, deep suicidal thoughts. And you are actually manifesting an early death. I hate to be cold. I hate to be dark, but if you have karma in the south with fire, the element of fire, you if you are on the dark side of that, you are actually manifesting a deeper, a quick death. It's an early death. It's a death beyond your actual due date. Our due dates are when we, just on a side note, a due date is basically, so before you come here, we all have due dates, the day of birth. The day of birth is when we actually cross over. So we actually have an age, a time when we know we're going to cross over, and that's our peaceful time to cross over. But if you are capable of manifesting an early death, like it's a such thing as actually dying before your time. If you have a darker karma in the south, in the fire area, in the element of fire, if you are the person that's like going in and out of depression, anxiety, just all this different stress, if you people who have karma in South, and to me, that's the most important energy. That's your happiness. It's your happiness. So in the South, if you are happy, if you're good, if you're reconciled in the South, you're happy, you're fulfilled, you are joyful, you just feel good. But if you have karma there and you're on the negative side of it, you're not feeling so good. And those are the people who actually kill themselves, who are, it's like they like drown in not being, it's the opposite of what it's supposed to be. So if you're in the West is supposed to be all about having harmonious relationships. If you're on the positive side of West, you have harmonious relationships, you're great emotionally and balanced emotionally, like you feel good, you're in long-term relationships, stable relationships. Um, you tend to have great times with your friends and family. You are in a happy space where you feel really good with your friends and family. You guys are like it's harmonious within your relationships, your emotional state. You are emotionally balanced. You have emotional balance. If you are balanced in Earth, the North, your money's coming in good. You don't worry about money at all. You are financially stable. Your money's coming in good. It's flowing. You worry about nothing. It's like you have a sense of security where it's like you're going to have, you're going to be good, you're going to be okay, and you're okay with that. You feel very stable, very grounded, very balanced at all times. You have a sense of stability. You're like, okay, my relationships are good, my money's good, my house is good. You're firm. You're living a pretty balanced and stable life where it's like you wake up every day knowing what's what, and you are actually happy with your life. If you're balanced in air in east, if you're balanced there, your thoughts don't control you. You control your thoughts. It's like you have a way, you probably meditate a lot, or you have a way to quiet your thoughts down. It's like where you just feel calm and peaceful at all time. There's no anxiety, there's no negative thinking. You're always thinking the best. It's like versus the worst. So you're not a person that's almost like, okay, it's, like there's some people who are like, okay, well, I hope for the worst, but I expect the it's like I expect the worst, but I hope for the best. You're a person that's like, well, I expect the best, but if the worst comes, well, I'm prepared for it because I'm going to overcome it anyway. Your thoughts don't control you. You sleep at night. You're good. You have clear thinking. You think rationally. You think before you act. You are a person that is very mentally balanced and stable, like very mentally balanced. You're very logical. Most people come to you, you have the most amazing advice to give because you think rationally, you're very mentally stable. If you are balanced in the South, you're happy as fuck. You're happy as hell. You're a happy ass person. Like you find a joy in everyday life. You feel joyful. You feel happy. You feel grateful. You just feel like it's like even if you wake up and you see a flower or like a certain type of bird that's actually growing on that flies past you. It's a beautiful. So for me, when I see cardinals, I'm like, oh my God, thank you. Those are my angels, and I express all this gratitude. So no matter what, if you look outside and you just see the beauty of the planet, the earth, like you see the good in everything and everybody, like you feel so good and so joyful, like you just feel good. You feel it's nothing that can happen, it's nothing that anybody can say to you. You just feel joyful. You feel joyful. You feel so good. If you're balanced in the South, in fire, you just have this passion about life, passion about your career, passion about who you are, passion about what you're doing. You feel great in what you're doing. You're probably very prosperous. You have like a very prosperous. So which means that if you're happy in the South, that means everything else around you is balanced. It means you're happy within your mind, you're happy within your money, you're happy within your relationships. You are very happy altogether. You're a happy person. Not saying that life is perfect for you, but at the same time, when something happens for you, it's just almost like it's like what do you call it? It's like water off a duck's back. It's like literally like it rains off of you. Like it doesn't even affect you because you are literally happy. So this person right here, I just did their Cardinal release. They had so much karma in the north, the south, and the east. I mean, this person right here that I just did, and I'm not going to I'm not going to display who they are. They had okay energy in the West. But this person right here, very suicidal, very depressed. And I get it. We're going through a time right now where it's like very hard. It's not the easiest. It's not. But at the same time, they're letting it conduct. These should be spread out more outwardly. So all these crystals should be outwardly. So when I do these cardinal releases on people, if your crystals are more outward, it tells me that you're more balanced. But when they're internal, it tells me that you're more within yourself, within your mind. So this person right here was more within her mind and within her emotions, within her head, and so she's very guarded. So I had to literally remove and replace and anyways, that's not important. But at the same time, it's a perfect example. So this is what it looks like when I do the cardinal release. So cardinal release, how it works, the process. So what the cardinal release is, what I do is I relieve and release. I connect with your elements, with water, with earth, with air, and with fire. And I create a petition to release your physical karma. Okay, that's my job. So my job is I connect with each element to release your physical karma. There are 3 stages to a cardinal reset. First stage is to release the karma. So I have to kind of plead with your water, your earth, your east, and your north. Plead. I have to write a petition, and I have to express the petition, and I have to let it go. Okay. So if each element agrees, then we go into the second phase. The second phase is when we accept the gifts of each element. We accept the gifts of water. We accept the gifts of north, of earth, of air, of west, the passion of fire. We accept each and every gift. So each and every element has a gift and a power for you to be in that place where you are freaking happy as hell, have a great and amazing life, to receive the gifts from each element. So in water, if you have been blocked in water, to receive those relationships, fulfilling relationships, that love energy, that to release those blocks that have just been blocking you, from north, to receive that stability, that financial stability, that career, that purpose, from east, like your mental clarity, to remove those mental blocks, to really give you that sense of intuition, because east is all about intuition. South, to allow you to have passion within life, to be passionate, to be actually happy and filled with joy. So that's the second phase of that. And the third phase of it is when we actually give back thanks to each and every element, including yourself, which is spirit. So there's 5 elements. There's west, north, east, south, and then there's spirit, which is you. So that's why on my website I have all the instructions. It's not, you have to be ready for this. You have to be prepared for this. On my website I have all the instructions. You have to have a dietary, there is a dietary restriction. You have to wear white during the process. One thing that has changed is you don't have to be outside. You can if you want to, but you don't have to be outside. There is if you cannot be outside, there is an alternative way. But you have to follow you have to be ready. You have to be clear. So I wanted to explain what the cardinal release is, because a lot of people are like, what's the cardinal? I don't know what it is, and all this other stuff. But it's a deep part of your purpose. It's a deep part of your life. You can only have the cardinal if you have the reset. If you have not had the reset or detachment, you cannot have the cardinal. If you don't need a reset or detachment and still have a cardinal, you can still have the cardinal. So if you need a reset and a detachment, you can't have the cardinal until you actually have the reset and detachment. But if you're a person that does not need a detachment or a reset, but still needs a cardinal, then you can still get the cardinal. So I know it sounds complicated, but that's just how spirit, that's how it is. I'm just the messenger. So you guys be blessed. Take care. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you need me, reach me at www.CandiceGSmith, Candice with an I, CandiceGSmith, SMITH.net. And we can go ahead and go from there. Okay. So you guys be blessed. Take care. Bye bye.